Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.
Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome to WagerTalk TV. This is Stoppage Time. I'm Carmine Bianco, Champions League. Some great games this week, but we're on to Europa League. We have a couple games today. One early one, so you're going to want to listen to this show. Man United and Real Betis, Sporting and Arsenal. And then we're going to do a couple games from the Premier League on the weekend, Leicester City and Chelsea, and Newcastle and Wolves. With me from WagerTalk.com, it's Kevin Dolan returning to his regular seat with some Wi-Fi. Brian Power, and of course, in the sports memo seat, it's Pavlos Lagretos, who filled in admirably for Kev on Tuesday's show. Let's bring the boys in. Pavlos, I'll go to you first, since you filled in. I really appreciate you coming in last minute on Tuesday. How's the week been for you thus far?
Really nice. I swept the board on Tuesday. I had the under in the Chelsea match. I had a 2% on Joao Mario to score any time. It was also a free play in the show. Yesterday, not so much, to be honest. I had Romero to be carded, which was also a free play on the show. And that guy got 2 yellow cards. He's a walking card. He's like the new Pepe for me. I love that guy. So yesterday, to be honest, I took a couple of small stake bets on Tottenham to win and PSG not to lose. Both went overboard, but that Romero card prop just really salvaged the day. But it was more likely it should have been a pass for me yesterday. But today I have a big slate. We have 16 matches in the Europa and the Europa Conference League. I have a big package with the late matches, like 6 plays in there, all 2%, 3%, and of course I have one early package for the early matches as well.
Awesome, my man. Keep them coming. Keep them winning. If you keep them winning, you keep everyone happy, which is always a good thing. A split out for me yesterday. The PSG game didn't go as I thought. The Tottenham AC Milan game did go as I thought. I had the halftime draw on the under 2.5, so I don't think I had to really sweat out those ones. Spurs won and done in the first round again. Antonio Conte just can't seem to win in Champions League. Brian, how was your day?
Yesterday was great, Carmine. I had 6 best bets on the docket, won 5 of them, including a 3-0 sweep in college hoops. As far as soccer, unfortunately, the one best bet loss was in soccer. I wound up splitting the 2 matches yesterday in the Champions League. I had PSG plus half a goal. They couldn't get it done, but doesn't get much easier than the under in AC Milan, Tottenham. Obviously a goalless draw there. You wish they were all that easy. I have another total here in the Europa League set to go off in the early window. That starts another 6-play card for Thursday. 24-13 last 11 days overall, and soccer 10-3-1 last 14. So feeling pretty good coming today, and very excited to talk about the 2 matches I've been assigned here today, especially that Chelsea one, because we have to go into that debacle from less than 48 hours ago, how there was no over in that. I still cannot believe what I saw.
Yeah, that was it was quite the game, and we'll get to that. That'll be the third one on the card that we discussed. But we've got to bring Kevin in, and I'm going to put up a graphic, Kev, just as you come in. We'll get the graphic up first, because you mentioned on previous shows you were taking Bayern Munich at double digits to win this Champions League. And look at these numbers as far as Bayern Munich, if we can get that up on the screen. As far as a look at PSG in the last round, group stages right through to shutting out PSG over 2 legs. They have been nearly flawless, allowing a couple of goals in one of their games when they had everything under wraps anyways. But just absolutely unbelievable. This team just looks unstoppable right now. Everyone keeps talking about Man City and Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, and I've said it where these guys are the odds-on favorite, but maybe maybe Bayern deserve to be the odds-on favorite.
Nick mentioned that actually a couple of weeks ago, you kind of like the Barcelona-Manchester United game in Europa League, where the time to jump on is when they have those tough games. See, because you were getting the same odds on United as well, I believe, kind of similar, because no one kind of knows, who's going to go through. So you're getting a massive boost in your odds at the time. And, to me, Bayern Munich far stronger than PSG across the board. Their XG data from last year's Champions League was, exceptional. So I really like them. And, we've got a side 25-1 play on Chelsea. Maybe they're starting to turn things around. But, we're on a nice little 6-0 run on Soccer Client Place to start the week as well. Absolutely crushing those English lower leagues. I love those leagues. Books are hanging out some incredibly soft numbers. So, while all the razzmatazz is going on with Champions League and so on, we had Accrington Ipswich over on Tuesday night. We had Bradford Walsall under as well on that slate. All these lines obviously widely available at, DraftKings, FanDuel and so on. So, look, definitely not sexy. You're not going to find these games on Sky Sports main event or whatever, but thankfully, money on Bradford pays the same as PSG. So, looking forward to the rest of the season and this week especially.
I love that. The money spends the same way, no matter who the team name is, as long as they win. And at the end of the day, it's all that really matters. In reviewing these shows and reviewing the notes, and I always have your leans after the show. There's been a lot more winners on this show than losers. Unfortunately, sometimes the losers aren't actually the games that lost, but some of these guys on Twitter who think they'll troll you for some reason. They got nothing better to do in life. One guy, I think, trolled Pavlos and I this morning. Same guy who was begging for money a couple of weeks ago. But with that said, guys, let's get right to it, man. Man United and Real Betis. Let's get the odds up on this one. This is going to be a good one, I think, from Old Trafford. Man United minus 237. The draw's a plus 381. Real Betis plus 637. Kev, you and I are going to do this. I'm just going to, a couple talking points for me, and then I'm going to go to you on this one. That loss to Liverpool is fresh in their heads. 7-0. The media just ripped apart Man United, who were having a fantastic season prior to that. Everyone on Bruno Fernandes, everyone on the team in general, that Rashford didn't play his normal game. They get right back at it, and they're at home at Old Trafford. They have won, or they have gone 15 straight games at Old Trafford where they have scored 2 or more goals. You have to go back to October 30th of last season, where or of last year, where West Ham held them. It was 1-0 United in that game. But 15 straight games where they scored 2+, 17 of the last 18 they scored 2+. You can guess where I'm going here. Even though this is leg one, you figure Real Betis is going to come here, try and get a result, go home. They come off a very good defensive performance against Real Madrid in La Liga play, where they held them scoreless in a 0-0 draw. But they're last 10 games or so. I think we're going to see some goals in this one, and it wouldn't put it past me for Betis to get on the score sheet as well too. I'm going to take over 2.75 in this game, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3 as the play here. Kev, give me your thoughts.
I agree, Carmine. From a side perspective, I am expecting a tricky game for United in this one. Look, we just know how solid these Spanish teams are in this competition. Bar Eintracht Frankfurt's victory last year, 7 of the previous 10 winners of the Europa League had all come from Spain, most notably Sevilla, making up a lot of those numbers. But we don't even need to go back that far. Betis have already proven how dangerous they are in this, this season back in the group stage. They went to the Stadio Olimpico, beat Roma. They topped the group with, they never lost in the group, undefeated record. And United came up a little short in their group. if we cast our minds back. Real Sociedad topped the group. Sociedad also came to Old Trafford, beat United as well. So this isn't a gimme game by any stretch. I don't really agree with the odds. There's no way I'd be, rushing to the window, minus 260 or whatever it is right now to bet on United. If anything, I'd be on the Betis side of the play here, especially catching a goal in a quarter. Looks like a big head start here. But I'm kind of in agreement with you. The bet I like more in this one is the both teams to score prop at minus 105. I think that's, a great price. United, as you mentioned, their scoring record, I think I wrote down earlier, they've scored in 18 straight games now at home across all competitions. Go back to October. On Betis, I've only failed to find the back of the net just once on the road across 2023 so far. 4 of those 5 road games coming with Betis scoring multiple goals as well. So the market seems to favour United 2-0 as the most likely correct scoreline here. I'm not in agreement with that. As good as United have been this season defensively, especially at Old Trafford, I'd be very surprised if United can keep Betis out here. Iglesias sits as the joint 4th highest scorer in La Liga this season. Betis own La Liga's 3rd highest offensive XG rating as well, behind only the 2 heavyweights of Real Madrid and Barcelona. So I think the Spanish side are live in this one. Plus 1.25 looks extremely decent on the handicap. A 1-1 correct scoreline, if you're into those type of things, would be the way I'd kind of look as well. Perhaps 2-1 to either side. Likely United. But look, I'm going to keep it simple in this one. I like the both teams to score. I expect both teams to find the back of the net. And at minus 105, I like that price.
All right, Kevin Dolan. Kev, plus I'm going to throw right back at you just for a quick second. Agreement or disagreement, doesn't really matter. But plus 750 on Man United to win exact score 2-1. Would you throw a couple Guinness on that?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be one of the score lines I'd be looking at. I think United should be favoured. I just think getting over a goal on the handicap's a bit much. But yeah, that'd be definitely in the wheelhouse of where I would expect this score to land.
All right, Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk, who will be at this year's meet and greet on August the 19th at the Westgate. Make sure you come out, meet the guys. We're going to see if Pavlos is coming. We'll see if Bryan Power is coming to. It's going to be, last year was phenomenal. So many guys came in, a lot of customers, clients, and just viewers came in. We had such a great time, and we'll try and do it again. And he's going to do the 18 pint Guinness challenge. So I'm looking forward to that one. All right, guys, speaking of good contests, here is another one. This one also goes today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Sporting and Arsenal. Sporting Lisbon plus 241 at home. The draw is plus 244. Arsenal plus 115. Brian, I'm going to go to you first on this one. You're getting the Gunners, top of the league, playing some very good football at plus money. But this is a tough venue to play in, and a lot of teams have come to Sporting and haven't left with any points. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, my thoughts are that it is hard for me to believe that Arsenal isn't prioritizing the Premier League over the Europa League right now. And I think the starting 11 is going to reflect that today. And look, it's a tight battle. We all know it at the top of the table in the EPL. The 3 points did not come easy for the Gunners over the weekend against Bournemouth. They had to erase a 2-0 deficit. The game winner comes 7 minutes into stoppage time. And the fixtures are piling up. We talk about this a lot this time of year. This will be Arsenal's 7th match in the last 26 days. So if they're rotating, like it's being reported, and they just have a weaker starting 11 than normal, that's trouble. Because as you alluded to, Carm, this Sporting Lisbon team, they're very good. And they don't have the luxury right now of being able to rely on domestic football over European football. They're 4th in Portugal right now, 5 points back of Champions League qualifying. So they may not get there. And this is probably their best shot. I honestly regretted not playing them in the second leg last round when they win 4-0 over Midtjylland in Denmark. I thought they were the better side in the first leg, even though it was a 1-1 draw, and they needed a stoppage time equalizer there. If you remember last year, Sporting, they were in the last 16 of the Champions League. They've controlled over 50% of their possession in all domestic matches this season. I think, at the very least, they can play to a draw in this first leg at home. I got them plus half a goal here this afternoon in the Europa League action.
Yeah, Bry, sorry, I had to unmute myself. I muted myself just to cough there. But listen, I agree with you. Listen, I get it. Arsenal's playing some very good football. You wonder if, their performances over the last few weeks haven't been as sharp as they have during most of the season, where their run has been phenomenal. It's a tough venue, and I get it. They have to sort of prioritize. I think winning the league is first and foremost in their minds, but they want to come here and get some type of a result in this game. But Sporting are such a tough team, and they've proven to be so over the last, not only the last few years in Premier League in Portugal, but even in European competitions. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you for the final word on this one. Give me your thoughts on this Sporting Arsenal game.
Well, I agree. It's a very tricky match for Arsenal. Sporting are a very dangerous side. Yes, they went through a rough patch, but now they've been quite good lately. They won 4 in a row. They only lost to Porto and Maritimo in their last 20 matches in all competitions. They have 15 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. They have some excellent quality up front, and they can easily hurt this Arsenal defense. And from what I'm reading, there's a very good chance Arsenal are going to use, of course, they're going to heavily rotate the squad. And there's a very good chance we're going to see their January signing, Kivior, in the starting center-back position. And I read somewhere that Tomiyasu is considered as the left back in that squad. Now, Ben White is doing a good job playing at the right back. He's not a right back, but he can just man the position correctly. Tomiyasu cannot. I watched this guy all season. There is a lot of talent, but his mind seems to go absent at times. And that's why Arteta doesn't really use him. He only subs him in for the last 5 minutes, just to protect the lead. Now, if Tomiyasu starts at the left flank, which I doubt it, I think Arteta will find something else. But if what I read was true, if Tomiyasu is at the left back, the left flank, they're going to have a serious trouble down that side. So not a lot of chemistry between the Arsenal defenders, and we should say that, Arsenal were using their reserves. They're really good players, and they're eager to prove themselves and get some more playing time. So using reserves is not necessarily a bad thing. They did an excellent job in the group stage. So I think this is a very tricky match for Arsenal. As Brian said, at some point, have to focus heavily on winning the EPL, which is probably their biggest concern right now. So as far as this match goes, I see goals on both sides here. I like the price, even money plus 100, and I might sprinkle some money on some card props, goal scorer props, and stuff like that.
Awesome. Pavlos, I like it. And you look at it, and you look at like even the injury report that I'm looking at, and Trossard won't be. It's saying he will not play. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus is finally on the field, finally on the pitch, finally working with the team again. But I have to believe he's still a ways out before he's even ready, match fit to get in like 30 minutes or so. And Nketiah looks like he could very well miss this lineup. And they've got Fulham in 3 days' time, an away fixture. So would you lean to, Pavlos, like an under in a game like this, where Arsenal just goes there trying to get some type of a result, obviously not wanting to lose this tie in leg 1, and then just take care of business when they get home for the return fixture next week? Did you look at the under?
Yeah, I did look at the under, but to be honest, it was an over in my eyes. But then I looked at the stats at the lines. The line is at 2.25, and it's going even lower. So I don't. It might be a 1-1 draw, to be honest. Which, if you bet on the under, is going to be at least a half win. But this is one of the matches where really I get both teams to score, and I don't care who wins. I don't care if there's a third goal. This is actually an extra layer of not caring in this match. So both teams to score for me. I'll stick to that.
I don't care who wins, and I have no regard for human life. That is what Pavlos' lines are on this show. Guys, before we get into the weekend's EPL games, a couple of games, with the first one being Leicester and Chelsea, I want to mention the promo that we mentioned on Tuesday's show, because this one expires Friday at midnight. The 90-day all-access package was reduced to $4.99 for a limited time only till Friday at midnight. You can use the coupon code ST200, and you can get an additional $200 off that 90-day soccer all-access package, which is all plays, props, 5% plays released in soccer for any one of the cappers that are on this show regularly, which includes Pavlos and Nick Borman at Sports Memo. So you'll get it basically for $299, which is $100 a month. And that's going to cover you right through the end of the domestic league seasons, which end at the end of May. So take advantage of that ST200 code over at WagerTalk for the 90-day all access. All right, guys, we are going to move on to Chelsea and Leicester City. Let's have a look at the prices on this one. Leicester City plus 276. The draw is plus 254. Chelsea even money plus 100. Bryan, you and I are going to do this game, and I'm going to say, and I mentioned at the beginning of the show, that win by Chelsea over Dortmund was probably by far their best performance under Graham Potter. But I think it's their best performance of the season. I've not seen this team, and I've watched a lot of their games because I watch a lot of football, a lot of games this season, and I've never seen them play that well. They were focused. They were attacking. Probably should have seen some more goals in that game. I'm not sure how that stayed under. But now the focus shifts to the Premier League because they won't have to play another Champions League game for at least a couple of weeks. So the focus shifts. They're sitting in 10th, 11 points back of a top 4 spot, which is tough in itself. But this is probably a good spot for them to be playing Leicester. This team is struggling to score right now, almost 5 hours without a goal, 3 straight losses, 3 straight times that they've been held off the score sheet. And that noose around Brendan Rodgers' neck must be getting tighter. The fans are booing him. He's not enjoying it. This team's not enjoying it. I can't see anything other than I'm taking Chelsea here to build off that win, make it 3 straight wins for them in all competitions, and I'm going to take the plus money here. So give me Chelsea at plus 100 here. What are your thoughts?
Well, you talk about the match on Tuesday against Dortmund. I'm watching it, and there was a point in the first half, guys, where I was just expecting that yakety sax jingle to start playing when Chelsea got possession of the ball, because I had come on the show. Nick Borman said the same thing Tuesday. Chelsea is due to score. Chelsea is due to score. And in the opening, 15, 20 minutes of that match, the fact that it was still 0-0 was preposterous. It was even more preposterous that when I stepped out of the room for a minute, that's when they scored the first goal, Chelsea. And then so I'm like, all right, well, there you go. And I'm sitting there. And then comes the penalty. When that first penalty hit the post, I actually thought of this chair just laughing. I was like, this team is doomed. And then they get a second chance. I'm like, if they blow this second chance at a penalty, just send this team down to the championship. Just relegate them. And they made it. They converted. It's 2-0. I'm feeling good. I'm like, this over's got to hit. We've got 40 minutes left of soccer to play. And Carm, if you remember Tuesday's show, you kind of played devil's advocate on that over to Nick and I said, well, hey, here's the thing. Chelsea has also been a little fortunate when it comes to conceding this season. Among Premier League sides, only Newcastle, Liverpool, and Fulham have larger positive gaps between actual and expected goals allowed. And then, of course, what happens? Dortmund, a side that had previously won 10 in a row, averaging 2.5 goals per match, doesn't score. So it appears that overs are kind of doomed with Chelsea, but I am going to bang my head against the wall, bang my fist against this desk, and I'm going to say to take the over in this match again. Now, as you mentioned, Leicester, they have not scored a goal in any of their last 3 matches. If you're new to soccer, that's obviously very bad. But they infamously had the one match against Arsenal where they only created 0.02 XG. That's horrific. But they did create 1.4 XG against Man City, 1.7 XG last week against Southampton. I think they, too, are due to find the back of the net. I'm sticking with what I said on Tuesday. Chelsea is going to continue scoring. I don't think they keep Leicester clean here either. We are going over 2.5 Chelsea-Leicester this weekend. It has to happen. Come on.
Come on. I like it. And, the thing is, Brian, is with the funny thing is is I'm watching that game, and when you watch enough football and you're a sicko like me in the sense of you watch about 18 hours of football in a weekend, which drives my wife absolutely nuts. I will record games and watch them because they're being played at the same time. I want to see them. So Fubo TV, where I watch all my Premier League games, if I can't watch, I watch 2 at a time, and I'll record a couple so I can watch them, even though I know the final results. I love to see the way the game was played. Watching that game, you get conditioned on watching these penalties, and sometimes you just fear the worst, that they're going to miss. And when Kai Havertz lined up over that ball, I no longer look at the guy taking the penalty. I'm looking at the goalie's feet to see if he leaves early, or I'm looking at the top of the box to see if the players encroach early, so they retake the penalty. The minute he took that penalty, the first thought that came to my head was encroach, right? And then they stop it and they make him retake it. And you wonder if it's the same guy is going to take it or somebody else is going to take it. But he took it, slotted it in. They went on. And then there was opportunities for more goals in that game. Yeah. They just didn't come, and I couldn't believe it. So I believe sometimes you're on the right play with the wrong result. And while I played devil's advocate with you guys were on the right play thinking there were going to be goals, and you just got the wrong result in that one. You should have gotten the results. We'll see what happens here. Because as you said, Leicester is a team that can surprise you at times. Their form looks absolutely terrible. They're 3-3-6 at home, second worst record in the Premier League at home, with only Southampton being better. But then a team like Tottenham comes in and they blow the doors out on Tottenham and beat them 4-1 out of nowhere. So I get it. I absolutely get it. It should be an enjoyable game nonetheless. But we have another game to talk about. These are a couple teams that don't normally score goals. So let's look at this one, and Kevin and Pavlos will break it down, and then we'll do some leans at the end of the show. You'll see the leans that we mentioned throughout the show. It is Newcastle and Wolves. Newcastle minus 149. The draws plus 286. Wolves plus 431. Kev, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Listen, this Newcastle team has played so great throughout the season, but they seem to be coming back down to earth a little bit over the last little while. They currently sit 6th. You look at their last 5, and they've only picked up 3 of a possible 15 points. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Well, definitely not expecting a shootout in this one, Carmine. Since Lopetegui took charge over at Wolves, they now rank top 8 in the league on total points gained. I'm kind of a little annoyed by his appointment, to be honest, because I took Wolves to go down back at the start of the season, plus 550. Their metrics were absolutely dreadful last year. They vastly outperformed the data. And look, death, taxes, and regression, those are the only sure things in life. And Wolves were delivering. They were sitting rock bottom of the league when Lopetegui took charge. But it's safe to say that bet's dead and buried right now, because Wolves look like, they look like a fairly different team right now. They've somehow kept that solid defense while, they're more dangerous going forward. And, as a testament to that, only Liverpool have allowed less goals at home since Lopetegui took charge at Wolves. 0.4 goals per game given up on average at the Molineux. So, they face Newcastle side, as you said, have had some recent issues. They've faced a fairly tough schedule, though, to be fair to them. But look, they still rank as the EPL's best defensive team overall this year. They've allowed by far the fewest goals at the back. They rank number 2 in defensive XGA also. So I think this will be an incredibly, tight game here on Sunday. 2 solid sides, obviously. And, Newcastle really need to focus on stopping the rot here. As you mentioned, winless in 5 straight games now heading into this one. And they're in real danger, slipping out of those European spots as a result. So I don't see a ton of action in this game. Was kind of, debating whether to go with the under 2.25 here or the both teams to score no. I believe both of those hit. But I'll just about side with the both teams to score no in this one at minus 125. Could see this one falling 1-0 either way here on Sunday. So, both teams to score no for me in this one at minus 125.
All right, Kevin Dolan, WagerTalk.com. Guys, I enjoy doing this show with you guys and Nick Borman, because I get to jot down all these great ideas for T-shirts. I've got Pavlos. I've got the over. I don't care who wins. No regard for human life. And now Kevin Dolan throws out the stop the rot. I've got to get some shirts made up, and we're going to give these away on some of the shows. I absolutely love it. Pavlos, give me your thoughts on this one. Wolves, Newcastle, the Magpies in need of a win.
Yeah, that's true. One might look at the recent results and say, oh, they're going into a slump. They're going into a slump because they played City, United, and Liverpool in the last three. So take those results with a grain of salt. Yes, they were bought out by the Arabs. They invested not a lot of money so far in this squad, and they're doing a really good job with a still limited roster. I mean, they didn't get any big names. They bought Isak, they bought Guimaraes, they brought Trippier, they brought like 4 or 5 players, but not by any, they're not superstars by any means. So they're doing a really good job, and take those recent results with a grain of salt. Now, they're getting a Wolves side that are cursed this season, man. They have a curse. Whichever forward they bring in, he gets injured. They brought in Kalajic from the Bundesliga, a really excellent addition. He, in his first match, out for season. They brought in Diego Costa. He was stretchered off in the last match. Adama Traore from Barca, he's non-existent. Only Potense, I believe, is just a bit healthy. I think he's the only one that has lost just one match due to injury. So they're cursed up front. But that's not the reason why they play so defensively. Wolves are traditionally a very defensive side. This season, I don't like what they did with the defense. They have a really young defense. Yes, it's a nice, project for the future, but their defense is just it's not that bad, but it's not great like it used to be. Now, Newcastle 11-2 to the under 2.5 goals in the last 13 matches. The only 2 matches that went to the over were cup matches. Wolves are 9-4 to the under 2.5 goals in the last 13 matches, with those 4 overs coming against Liverpool twice, Manchester City, and another over was against Southampton in a match where Southampton had an early red card. Of course, it was an over. So historically, 7-1 to the under 2.5 goals in the last 8 matches between 2 sides. However, and that's my only objection about Kevin's play. 6 of the last 8 matches were 1-1 draws. So I'm definitely spending some money on the 1-1 draw. I'm probably gonna put it in a round robin or something. But my best bet for this match is taking the under 2.25 goals here. I think there's gonna be a maximum of 2 goals. So worst case scenario, this is a half win. But there's gotta be a very few goals in this match.
All right. Pablo Sagretos, Sports Memo. Guys, let's get into the review of our plays so we can have a look at what everyone has or what they gave out on the show. And we're going to go right to Bryan first. Bryan, tell us what you have up at WagerTalk, and we'll have a look at your leans on today's show.
Yeah, just one more time. Had 6 best bets on Wednesday. We won 5 of them. We've got 6 plays ready, locked and loaded for Thursday. First one is in the Europa League. You got just a little bit over 2 hours if you want that one. And then we swept the board in college hoops last night, 3-0. Plenty. We have 4 college hoops plays. Today, I will be, of course, on WagerTalk today in just a little bit over an hour as well. So if you are not sick of me, in 90 minutes, we'll see what you say. But we're looking for another big day here on Thursday, Carm, and looking for a big weekend here as March Madness rolls along, and looking to continue that 10-3-1 soccer run as well.
Let's do it, man. Keep winning. The great thing is, if you guys keep winning and I keep winning, it is a great competition. Everyone's happy on the back end, and between us, we shoot for those bragging rights as well too. Kev, welcome back again, man, and great future on the Bayern Munich. I hope you get to a point where you can either, I know you're not a hedger, or a gardener, but where you can put yourself in a position, if you want to, or your clients want to, of cashing out. Tell us what you have up at WagerTalk, and we'll have a look at your leans on today's show.
Don't forget about Chelsea, Carmine. Don't forget about Chelsea. We've got a ton of action up right now over WagerTalk. NBA, NHL, boxing, obviously, but we've got 14 soccer plays that we fired on. They're loaded up right now on site, obviously starting with tonight's Europa League, going right the way through the weekend. So great time to jump on board. Lock in that code ST200. Believe that's one of the deepest discounts we've ever done on soccer at WagerTalk. And, look, on a purely game-by-game basis between now and June, I'm not sure what that works out to, per game, a couple of cents per play, whatever, as, soccer is at least my main sport at WagerTalk. So, yeah, look, a ton of action right now. So definitely great time to jump on board.
All right. Best of luck to you as well, too. Pavlos, I'm going to go to you next. I'm hoping you're making it out to the WagerTalk meet and greet in August. My wife is coming. I'll be booking my trip shortly. And she's always like, I got to meet this Pavlos guy. That's the guy with the big beard. So, and I think it's because you have a very good heart. You seem like a really good guy. And not to turn this into a different type of show, but it's why I enjoy doing the show with you guys. And it's why I try and tell people on Twitter who love to troll or do whatever. Life's too short to be so negative. Try and be a better version of yourself every day, Pavlos. And this is the advice I would give to people out there. So now, with that said, this isn't Oprah. Give us your
I'm trying not to blast you.
Up at Sports Memo, and we'll have a look at your leans.
Okay, thanks for all the kind words. You guys are also very sweet guys, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Now, I do have, I'm on a 7-1 run in 5% plays in the Champions League this season, guys. It's been going amazing. I have one loaded for next Tuesday. It's a play on the spread. I really love that. I have a 4% side bet for Sunday, or for Saturday, actually. 12-1 run since November with these 4% side bets. It's been going amazing, and I have 8 plays for tonight's Europa and Europa Conference League matches. 2 of them are in the early bracket, 12:45 p.m. So there's a 2-pack, and there's a 6-pack or a 7-pack with plays from the earlier bracket, like 3 p.m. from the Europa League, Europa Conference League. All of them 2 or 3%. It's 2 totals, 3 both teams to score, and 2 player props. We're gonna make some money today, guys.
Love it, buddy. And I wish you the best of luck. 3 plays up for me today in Europa League. First one kicks off at 12:45 Eastern time. 5% play up in the NHL tonight, and then some other NHL plays that will go up shortly. So maybe pick up the 1-day all access, and $39, you get them all. Guys, listen, we're going to be back on Tuesday again. It is a couple more of the Leg 2s of the Champions League. And then I'm looking forward to seeing the draw after that to see who these teams are going to get, not only in the quarterfinals, but we'll also know the winners who will meet up in the semifinals. That's a great thing about the quarterfinal draw. We'll do those. We'll cover 4 Champions League games. And then on Thursday, we'll do some Europa League and some EPL games or games of interest in Europe. So for myself, Brian Power, Kevin Dolan, and Pavlos Lagaretos, this is Stoppage Time. Thanks for watching, guys, and best of luck with your wagers.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to WagerTalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.